now asked them to put it out, and Saibari, who recently signed for Bayern Munich, had a spell with PSV. He's also known for being the man that was chasing ball boys around in that African Cup of Nations final, trying to take towels off them. He also has 3 goals in 4 games during this tournament as well. He will be one that they will want to get back to his feet. Scored against Scotland and Haiti, and then converted the decisive penalty against the Netherlands in the last round. The 25-year-old been a breakout star of this competition. And he is back to his feet once again. No treatment needed. We've seen that through this tournament so far, that players are more inclined to reject the physio coming on because they need to go off for a minute or so. But we also did see the opposite of that happen in the Argentina-Cape Verde game, with Cape Verde having a corner and the referee allowing the Argentinian to come back onto the pitch almost instantly, in fact waiting for the time to disappear before allowing him back on. He wasn't very kosher from the referee, and that's the way to put it. 9 minutes gone in this game. Canada having a few early corners, but nothing really to threaten Bono in the goal. Morocco just trying to control the ball now and get a bit of momentum back into it after a brief spell without possession. Canada will work it back towards Kripau inside the goal. He's the Orlando City man, certainly making an impact as well for Canada during this competition. Looks long down the right-hand side, looking for the run of Oluwase. Can't quite get there, though, ahead of excellent defending, but the referee has actually given a free kick against Oluwase. Not like the linesman was pointed to the corner flag on the near side, but just had a little bit of a coming together with Issa Diop, who just cut across his man ever so well and then just went down under the faintest of touches. Something that has crept into the game is defenders that get themselves between man and ball, take the slightest of touch and then go down to the ground and get away with it. Just getting away with it, though, inside his own half is Bombito, who didn't have the most confident of touches, but it falls kindly towards Buchanan on the right-hand side, trying to stretch his legs and go it. The Manchester United defender Mazraoui, but this time Laia gives him a good shove in the back, and that one I don't think you can have too many complaints about. And I don't think he will, as the referee gives the free kick Morocco's way. Happy to get on with it quickly. Trying to push it towards the right-hand side is Ainaoui. Gives it away, though, over on the far side and cut then in towards Oluwase. If he can find it back in towards Jonathan David. Tries to go alone. Good shot, good stop. Sorry by the goalkeeper, down to his left-hand side, just getting his leg in front of the ball. Rather selfish, though, from Oluwase, who really should have passed it to Jonathan David, who kept himself onside. Would have had a certain goal for Canada. And Canada still trying to win the ball back on this near side, but the linesman giving a free kick against Buchanan, who just went in with a late challenge. Studs were raised right in front. More of the English linesman, but it was poor from the Moroccan defence. It came right back in towards Ahmed, fed it in nicely towards Oluwase, who turned beautifully past Hal, and then tried to feed it into the bottom left-hand corner of Bono's goal. But he should have passed it across towards top scorer Jonathan David. And that is a chance that goes begging for Canada. 11 minutes into this game. Can Morocco punish them right at the other end? No good. Interception at the back, cutting across from Bombito once again. Johnston just got himself a little bit caught out at the back, but good recovery work from Bombito, the Nice defender. And that was nice of him, if you'll pardon the pun. Is it even a pun? Over on the left-hand side with Canada on the left corner of the Moroccan box once again. Fed in towards Jonathan David. Just lays it back off, though, towards Eustáquio. The captain, though, can't quite feed it back in towards Jonathan David, but it's cleared out for a throw-in over on the far side, halfway inside the Morocco half. It's Canada trying to apply more early pressure in this game. And how will that chance go begging for Canada in this one. Giving away on the edge of their area once again, in towards Eustachiou. Can't quite just dance his way in towards the box, and Morocco will come away with the ball down the right-hand side, trying to just clear it in to the Canadian half, but Bombito is there. Second ball falls kindly in towards Buchanan in the centre of the Moroccan half. Just moves it out towards the right-hand side and just invites Johnson to come onto it. Bit of space, an opportunity to cross it in towards the box, so you would say he was in an offside position. Comes back out towards Eustachiou, feeds it in towards Jonathan David, tries to then again just tuck it in towards the runner of Buchanan. Going in towards the box, and Canada just not making the right decisions in the final third. Jesse Marsh applauds it on the touchline. He's happy with how his side have started in the opening 13 minutes of this game. He certainly should be. As Canada came through Group B, they beat South Africa 1-0 in the round of 32 through that Eustachiou stoppage time winner. And that match mattered emotionally as much as statistically. It was Canada's first knockout win at the tournament, and proof that the group can suffer, keep running, and still come up with that one late moment. They'd never won a game in the Worlds before this tournament. And they have now got a couple to their name as well, and now they'd love to add another and reach their first ever quarter-final. Win against Qatar, albeit two men were sent off for Qatar, one rather harshly. It wouldn't have changed too much of the outcome of the game itself, as Canada ran riot that afternoon north of the border, but down in the south of America here in Houston, it's still 0-0, 14 minutes gone in this contest. Morocco back on the ball, just trying to set their own tempo, as they do like to do. They will play their own way even against the best of sides, and they'll move it down the right-hand side and win a free kick as well, as Hakimi is just taken out over on the far side, the Moroccan captain. He'll have questions to answer as well when he does make his way back to France, which he won't mention too much of during the commentary. French officials deal with that one, but over on the far side he's back on the ball again. He's trying to work and find a bit of room, but can't find anything central, so we'll just retreat back towards Diop, who's sitting 15 yards behind. Tries to then look down the right-hand channel to get it over the top of the Canadian back line, but Crepau does ever so well to come out of his area, commands it beautifully, and just clears it back into the Moroccan half. But the momentum swinging now into Morocco's favour. They've dealt with that early spell of pressure from Canada, and now they can start to get themselves into the game as they grow a little more, showing us signs of life which they struggled with in the opening 15 minutes of the game. Back with Diop. Over towards the right-hand side. Once more into Bouadi. Loses out and goes down, and the free kick goes the way again as Hakimi's taken out, holding that left boot. Almost deja vu as from 2 minutes ago. There's a foot just left in on the right boot of Hakimi. Over on the far side by Laia. Applies his trade up in Canada, in the MLS for Toronto. Likes to play on the edge without crossing it. Just occasionally likes to put in some low crosses, but he also puts in plenty of tackles as well. And we've seen that in the early stages of this game over on the far flank. Morocco back with the ball, just slowing down the tempo of the game, just controlling the ball, moving it back again towards the goalkeeper, Yassine Bono, who just lays it out in towards the middle to Hal Howe. Pushes it across nicely towards Diop. Again, tries to look forward, this time towards Saibari. Looked like he might have strayed offside. We'll wait for the linesman to make a decision. And as Saibari held it up and waited for the run of Diaz, the linesman over on the far side does put his flag up, the Englishman. As Saibari did stray half a yard offside, and the benefit of the pitch being mowed the way it has, going across the pitch. And you don't tend to see extravagant groundsmen these days in football. The Leicester City groundsman, not too sure if it is still the same groundsman. Over in England, used to love making interesting patterns every single game, would always change it up. He'd become a little bit of an eyesore at times, though. Down the right-hand side, come Canada once again, trying to feed in Buchanan, and it's another excellent ball intercepted by Hal, but could only put it out for a corner kick in Canada. Just stretching the back line of Morocco once again. Buchanan, who's offering plenty of freedom down that right-hand side. The Villarreal man, he's an old-school winger. He loves the step over, loves the feints, and loves to just try and run at defenders. And he's unsettling Morocco so far with the one-on-ones down that right-hand side. Wins a corner kick, which is Stakiao will come across to take. 5 Canadians lurk around the penalty spot. 2. 1, in fact, inside the 6-yard box, with 3 lurking on the edge of the penalty area as well. It's just floated in towards the box. It's an excellent ball in, but it's a header that didn't have too much conviction from Alistair Johnston. He was free inside the penalty area. The runners did their job. They pulled the defenders away. They left him all on his own, the Celtic defender. He's only ever scored 1 for his country. And on that occasion, just heads it straight into the Moroccan defence, who didn't know too much about it. But it was a peach of a ball from Stakiao. A beautifully played cross in towards the box. Excellent work from the runners. A well-played set piece from Jesse Marsh's side. The American said he's not looking for revenge from 4 years ago. I think the players that played in that game will certainly want a little bit of revenge themselves. Jesse Marsh wasn't involved at that point, but he has turned around Canada's fortunes. 83% of the time, Canada have either won or drawn since he has been in charge. Just the 4 defeats to their name. He really has made a difference to this Canadian side, who are on the ball again, a couple of yards inside the Moroccan half, just on this near side. Hugging the touchline is Buchanan, who's fed into the ball nicely as Oluwase goes down under the challenge, and Canada try to play advantage, but the referee, Michael Oliver, pulls it back and issues a yellow card, in which the Moroccans, who certainly love a protest, when it comes to decisions that are made, are trying to show the protestations to the referee once again, and they might have a little bit of an issue on that occasion. Lahir has done very similar things on the opposite side to Hakimi. He's not gone into the book. But Redouane Hal, the McClellan man, on his 5th appearance for the national team, has found himself in Michael Oliver's book. As Saibari is down, holding the back of his right hamstring as well, and that's not something that Morocco would like to see. And Bayern Munich certainly won't want to see as well. He'll be joining Harry Kane in the Bayern setup. Harry Kane having a wonderful season. 72 goals, 7 assists to his name. During this season, no player, bar the one season by Lionel Messi, has beaten the season that Harry Kane is going, and people are trying to question whether he doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or, and whether Dembele, who's scored just 10 league goals this season, could well be better than him. Absolutely not. It should be an individual trophy. I am biased because I am English. But I am also very biased in the fact that it should be awarded to the best player of Ismail Saibari. His 12 goals in 34. He scored 15 this season for PSV before making that move to Bayern Munich. He comes off. The Moroccans cheering him off the pitch. And it's going to fall to Soufiane Rahimi, the Al Ain man. Born in Raja's training ground, scored off the bench against Haiti. He brings Asian Champions League pedigree. 13 goals in 41 appearances for the national team, 8 domestically for the 30-year-old. But he's going to have to do some defensive work when we get back underway. As Stakiao lines up on this near side for Canada. It's an excellent angle to cross it into the box, puts it, trying to get it in towards that corridor of uncertainty, but it just floats more comfortably towards Yassine Bono, when it's meat and drink for a goalkeeper of his quality, for the 35-year-old who just plucks it out of the sky. So Rahimi is the man. It comes on up front. It's a like-for-like change for the Moroccans. Not something that they would want to have happen. I'm surprised the referee Michael Oliver didn't call the hydration break just before that free kick was taken. And as we come up to the 23rd minute in the game, it's flicked on in towards the middle. Canada Blades get the advantage down the left-hand side. Buchanan trying to stretch his legs. He's got one for company over on that far side in white in Bouadi. Takes out Buchanan, the referee waving play on Michael Oliver. He's not had the great of opening 23 minutes here, Michael Oliver. He's calling things, giving yellow cards for things that he didn't give on one side and gives them for another. And he's not giving free kicks right-hand side. He certainly came through the ranks rather quickly. There's a free kick up inside their own territory with Jonathan David committing a foul, and now Michael Oliver will call for the hydration break. And he rode refereeing pyramid. Did Michael Oliver. He was in the Premier League at age 25, 16 years ago now. The quality of officiating, though, in the top flight of English football has severely dropped. The officiating more than anything. As they try and trust VAR to make the decision for them. And in the end, it doesn't really take away the controversy, it just moves who's to blame for it, because it still relies on subjectivity the majority of the time from a human. Whereas the offsides are a little bit more acceptable, as that is a very simple way to do it. Morocco, they've had an excellent tournament so far, finished second behind Brazil in the groups and goal difference after drawing with Brazil, beating Scotland and Haiti. The round of 32, we mentioned a pure Moroccan tournament theatre, 1-1 against the Netherlands. It's a Diop levelling late to send the Netherlands home. After that penalty shootout, 3-2 win. Bono save from Asensio, Somerville, the former Leeds man, in the shootout, while Saibari, Talbi and Rahimi all scored. Ainawi would love to make amends. He hit the bar. Hakimi struck the post. It had absolutely everything. Did that penalty shootout. Saibari, who's been one of the form players during the tournament with his 3 goals in 4 games, won't be playing any further in this game. If you are just joining us a little bit later, make sure you are watching the games through your local network provider. They'll bring you the pictures. We can bring you the sound. But Saibari had to come off with a hamstring injury. That may be his tournament over, even if they make it through to the next round. But it's been a very even affair so far in this game. The winner goes to face either Paraguay or France. France looking by far and away the best team in this tournament so far. They're looking unstoppable, but Paraguay did the unthinkable against Germany. So maybe they may be able to do it in the next round as well, or in this round as well. In the last 16, Paraguay face France, Brazil against Norway, Mexico, England, Portugal, Spain, which will be an absolute classic of a game. USA, Belgium, 2 very even sides. Argentina, Egypt. Argentina will be expected to come away with the result there. And Switzerland, Colombia. Switzerland winning their first game in the knockouts in a tournament where we have seen so much history made for individual countries. Cape Verde holding Paraguay and Spain all in 90 minutes and put up a wonderful, taking Argentina to extra time. And Argentina coming through that one 3-2. Colombia then winning in the last game of the round of 32, 1-0 against Ghana as we're back underway. The hydration break, other results obviously went through. Egypt coming through 4-2 against Australia on shootout defeats. Australia, who had the best record on penalties, any side that had played more than one match it, and there's questions down under about whether they should have relied on a decisive fourth penalty. Switzerland beat Algeria 2-0, Portugal beat Croatia 2-1. Have had a goal ruled out against them. Portugal should have had 2 red cards against the Congo didn't get one, and obviously Ronaldo down towards his right hand side, but Canada making a bit of a meal on it on the edge of their own penalty area, just giving it away. Decision from the referee, but it is going to be a Moroccan throw in on this near side in an attacking position halfway inside the Canadian half. USA beat Bosnia 2-0, even though they were down to 10 men, and a couple of Americans were also asking for Donald Trump to pardon Balogun and his red card. I think it shows the knowledge of quite a lot of Americans that are getting involved in the World Cup, in this competition. It is nice of them to get involved, but sometimes it is rather amusing. Spain beat Austria 3-0. Belgium, wonderful comeback against Senegal 3-2. England against DR Congo 2-1. Mexico 2-0 against Ecuador. France 3-0 against Sweden. And then other wonderful results as well late on for Canada, but it goes a free kick against them as the Figueroas just came in together with Hal inside the box, and he just gave a little bit of a push in the back on Mazraoui as well. Oh, with that 2-1 win against Ivory Coast was another one. Morocco with a penalty win against the Netherlands. Paraguay with the penalty win against Germany as well. Canada's South Africa win, and Brazil beating Japan in what was another wonderful contest. Actually run through of the round of 32 games. And the games that are coming up as well. This the first of the round of 16. Half an hour gone, a third of the way through this game. Morocco, who came into this as clear favourites, not quite showing that so far in this contest. But Canada just giving a throw-in away halfway inside the Moroccan half. Just couldn't quite get the connection on the near side from Buchanan, across the pitch. They rely quite heavily on Eustachiou. Buchanan get hold of it and unsettle the Moroccans a little bit more, but it's Morocco on the ball. Over on the far side of the pitch, halfway inside their own half. Going to switch. Trying to just probe the flanks as it goes down towards Mazraoui. Can't quite find which to try and protest about there, and neither did the Moroccan coach as well on the near side. Marahi just trying back up for it again. Alphonso Davies returned for Canada as a substitute in the last round after his hamstring concern kept him out for the group stages. There's a selection question for Jesse Marsh about whether he does start him or not, but he has kept him off the bench and entrusts the likes of Jonathan David to do the job up frontly. who just got himself in a muddle. Diaz turned so well. Sorry, it was Jonathan David, the man who goes into the referee. He's booked the second Canadian to go against Senegal in the AFCON final. Tried the Penang. Of games. We saw Mo Salah do one yesterday. He wasn't the cleanest in Mo Salah, but he got away with it for that mistake. Not had the greatest of tournaments so far. As the Moroccan number 10. Free kick taken, a move getting there ahead of Rahimi. 60 seconds in to go before the end of the first half. Given away, and then a late challenge comes in over on the referee. Losing control, I think, of this game over the last couple of minutes. Some challenges just coming in from behind. Now, who lost the ball and then just leaves his leg in. On Ahmed, trying to see why he's put the challenge in. Well, Michael Oliver having to dish out plenty of cards. 5 minutes of quite a bare bones affair. Doesn't really know what to do with himself. Sat on. The drinks cooler to the right-hand side. Rahimi down on the edge of the area. He goes down, holding his leg. The referee this time. Waves play on, and Canada tried to come away with the ball. Pass can find him, but it just wasn't worked in towards the runner on the near side from Jonathan. VAR may have pulled that one back for a penalty. It was the slightest of touches, but it has the free kick Morocco's way, 5, 6, 7 yards inside. It was Unai who wins the ball, and Jesse Marsh is. As the tackle goes in almost on Bouhaddi and Diop. 4 minutes to go then of stoppage time. The game really starting to liven up at the end of the needed. Both of these two sides know that they have an opportunity. Who are still not expected to win this game. If you look at odds, if you are Morocco were evens at the start of the game, and they're moving closer towards 2 than anything else. Touch and just flops himself to the deck with Segur, who really should have just stayed off him. Segur came anywhere near it, and if he just waited and allowed the Moroccan cinch the ball, but it has been that sort of affair. Tackles are going in play. Morocco have had the majority of the possession, but Canada have had the better opportunity in this game to have a throw-in. 10 yards inside their own half. On this near side, most diverse cities in the United States. It's got a major immigrant and And Morocco into Texas. Everything's bigger as well. In America, as it's cleared out by Morocco. So Difugorolas who does ever so well just to run it all the way around. Centre-half partner of Bombito was left to beat his eye, but he did ever so well, Bombito. To pick the ball up, plays it towards out of space for Morocco if they can find the pass in towards the middle with Hakimi, driving forward, plays it in towards Brahim Diaz, tries to play it hold of it, and it allows the Canadian defence to get back. They'll pinch the ball back off inside the middle, and right at the end of the game it's... But here come Morocco again. Less than 2 minutes to go before the end of the first 45 minutes. The first round of 16 in this three-host tournament. And be a little bit more. It's always interesting when two sides are locked horns at 0-0, especially two sides that sat. A few fans have already seen enough here, and they're off to get their half-time libations in a moment or two. But it's back inside the Moroccan half with Hal Hal. Just pushed it again across towards his centre-half partner, towards Dia. They're trying to go predominantly down the side of the middle, and then a challenge goes in on Difugorolas off the ball, and another yellow card comes in, and the free kick goes in. He's booked, and this game really has a feel like a red card will come at some point in that second half. Yellow card of the game, the fourth for Moroccan player, and El Kanouche just gave him a shove, played in toward on Difugorolas. He was nowhere near the ball, El Kanouche. He hasn't really been near the ball inside the opening 45 minutes either. And one of his only his two contributions. Get himself into the yellow card and the book, or onto the yellow card and into the book. It was the best opportunity. There wasn't really too much that was happening until around about the 40th minute, when all of a sudden, and the referee started to dish yellow cards 5 in 5 minutes. But that is all she wrote for the first half. It's 0-0 between these two sides, and all to play for in the second half. Canada 0, Morocco 0.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Welcome back all to the second half here in Houston of the first round of 16 game at the Worlds. You're listening to an independent off-tube commentary of this game, and you can watch the pictures through your local network provider. It doesn't like any changes for either side at half-time, so we'll run you through the teams in a moment or two while we just double-check that there are no surprise changes going to be made, and it doesn't look like there will be. Michael Oliver is back out. Hopefully he can get a little bit more control of this game after that brief spell at the end of the first half, which saw 5 yellow cards in the space of 5 minutes. And it is going to be Morocco who get us back underway at the start of the second half in that all-white strip going from left to right. Canada in their all-black going, you will have surmised, from right to left. And no changes for either team from the sides that ended the first half, with Crapau in goal for Canada, a back four of Johnson, De Figueroles, Bombito and Lahier, who's on a booking. Buchanan, Segur, Eustachio out, the captain, and Ahmed are the midfield four. David's on a booking, and Oluwase are the two up front for Canada. For Morocco, Bono, Hakimi on a booking, and captain Diop. Al-Hal also on a booking in Mazraoui, the back four. Bouhaddi, Ainaoui are the two sitting just in front, with Diaz, Unahi and El Kounes, the latter two both on a yellow card, and Rahimi, who came on in the first half from a forced change after Saibari. Looks like he's pulled his hamstring and his tournament could well be over. We have a limited time left, just 15 days left of the competition until the final 2 weeks on Sunday as Hakimi trying to stride down the right-hand side. A intercepted tackle by Laye, but he can't keep it in as it goes out for an early throw inside the second half to the Moroccans, who have a lovely history over the last 2 competitions with this tournament. Canada, it's their breakthrough more than anything. Before this tournament, they'd never won a men's game at the Worlds. The run has changed the scale of the programme in real time. They made their first appearance in 1986, the second in 2022, which brought a return in Alphonso Davies' first Canadian goal at the Worlds as well. And 2026 has delivered that breakthrough points, the win, knockout progress as well for Morocco. They're the first African and Arab side to reach a semi-final, and that was in 2022. Also the first African side to win a group in 1986. But here come Canada on the edge of the area towards the left-hand side to USA, who can't quite return the turn, the pass in towards Jonathan David, but has won a corner kick. And Eustachiou is questioning the referee for a potential foul just inside the penalty area. It might be wishful thinking more than anything else. It was a good run and a slight pull back, and then a nice little touch around the corner. We would say what's in an offside position as the ball went out for the corner kick. So if there is a goal here, surely that will be ruled out unless it does go back. It doesn't go back any further than the start of the set piece. But 3 minutes gone inside the second half. Canada trying to start the second as they started the first. 0-0 was the scoreline from that first half, but Canada certainly had the better chances. Eustachiou goes short, retrieves the pass back again and sends it in towards the middle to Ahmed. A little bit more central towards Laye. Moves it across the right and tries to then find the pass and the near side of the 6-yard box to Figueroles, who just couldn't quite get a light enough touch on and just sends it over the top of Bono's crossbar away to our left-hand side. And here come Morocco again down the right-hand side, and Figueroles now goes in with a challenge, and it'll be the first yellow card of the second half. Just came across his man, racing down the right. And Figueroles, who's been across the pitch, the young 20-year-old, plays at Fulham. He was on with Dender on loan and just taking out Rahimi, who just got there ahead of him as he tried to scramble across and win the ball. Rahimi certainly feels the challenge after that. The Al Ain man in his 42nd appearance for his country. And we immediately have another yellow card, and Hakimi stands over this one. 10 yards off the right-hand side of the Canadian penalty area, level, just in front of level with the penalty spot. Just one in the wall of Ahmed. Hakimi stands over it, lays it towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's tucked away. And Morocco have the lead, and it's Ounahi who strikes for Morocco. They have the breakthrough, and the memory of 2022 is starting to feel like a foundation rather than a fairy tale. The Atlas Lions roar again, and it's a beautifully played set piece. Hakimi from the right-hand side just laid it across the edge of the area. On came Ounahi, completely unmarked, had his time to pick his spot, and he picks it beautifully into the bottom left-hand corner of Maxime Crépal's goal. And Morocco have the start to the second half that they would have dreamed of. And it's Canada 0, Morocco 1. And it's a very, very tidy finish. A lovely ball across it. For a moment didn't look like it had the legs, but on came to it was Ounahi from the Hakimi set piece. And Morocco have the lead. They seem to do it time and time and time again in this competition. Over the last 2 iterations, and Mohamed Ouabi, who wants Morocco to create what he's called organised chaos, speed, movement, technical overloads. Well, they didn't need much chaos there. Simplicity and structure and a well-worked set piece is what has given Morocco the lead in this all-important round of 16 game. They could have a rematch with France in the next round, if they were to come through it. They were beaten in the semi-final by the French 4 years ago. Now they would love to make amends in the quarter-final of this competition. They've still got 40 minutes to see this game out, and Canada have got 40 minutes to try and find a leveler at least. Eustachiou in towards David, who's taken out off the ball. Referee allows play to continue. Down to Laye, who just slips in front. Does ever so well to get back to his feet and keep hold of it. Back to Difugo-Dollars, who was the man who committed the challenge that gave the free kick moments ago. Down the right-hand side come Canada, striding in towards the area, getting his feet all messed up. Over on that far side was Ahmed. Well, Jonathan David, sorry, now striding down the right-hand side is Hakimi, who's got plenty of space to run into the PSG man. He's full of experience, is the captain. Just shrugs off the ball, then goes down the edge of the area. Looked to be a free kick. He's furious with the referee, Michael Oliver, who was right next to it. He was just pushed off the ball. The Canadian defence didn't really try and win the ball off him. He pulled it back from the right across to the left-hand side to try and open up the angle. And he's still protesting towards Michael Oliver in the middle of the park, but 8 minutes gone inside the second half. In fact, Michael Oliver has absolutely got that decision spot on the replay from where we're sat high in the stand, or where we are high in the stand. It looked like he'd been taken out off the ball. Taken out while he was on the ball, but in fact he stood on the ball and slipped. And Michael Oliver in the right place at the right time, making a perfect decision on that occasion. And Hakimi had us all fooled for a moment. Well, Morocco lead by a goal to nil. Jesse Marsch now marches up and down his technical area before taking a seat. Yet to make a change, but at the start of this second half, it's Morocco who are trying to go for the kill and double their advantage. Inside the centre circle with the goal scorer, Unahi. Goes back towards Halhal. Moved across the right-hand side in towards Diop and finds Hakimi with the pass once again. Closed down quickly, though, by Ahmed, and has to retreat back to Diop on the edge of their own penalty area here. Morocco, but they are being patient with it. They're waiting for Canada to come on to them now more than anything else. When they tried to stride forward themselves in the first half, they invited the pressure and they ran straight into it. And now they're just waiting for Canada, allowing them the space to open up before finding the passer. Lucky pass in from Diop, who then loses out towards Laye. Down the left-hand side, in towards Oliwese. Pulls it back in towards the penalty spot, but good recovery work from Bouhaddi, who lost it initially on this near side. Across comes Brahim Diaz, now striding forward. It's 4-on-3 for Morocco. Sends it down the right in towards Rahimi. Tries to pull it back across, but good work again at the back, this time from Bombito, just to get himself back and get his body in the way of it. Two were coming into the box. One was Brahim Diaz. The other was El Kounes from the far side of the pitch. But across came Bombito to put it out for a corner kick right in front of the horde of Canadians behind the goal who were trying to get behind their team. The entire stadium is filled with red. Neither side playing in red. Both sides are known for it. As Hakimi stands over the corner kick down the right-hand side that Morocco are attacking. 6 inside the box, plays it towards the front post, and that's poor from a man of his calibre. Gets lucky as it comes back to him. Sends it back first time, left-footed. Floats onto the far side of the box, equally poor. And then goes out for a goal kick after a slip from Halhal, who tried to just, again, see if the referee was willing to make a decision. But 10 minutes into this second half, it's Morocco who are controlling it. And Jesse Marsch can't even look towards the pitch. He's just shaking his head deep down in front of us in the dugout. As Canada tried to come away with the ball, what he said at half-time certainly hasn't had an effect. And that chance that went begging for Oliwese inside the first half, when he should have squared it across to Jonathan David, is going to have, at the moment, a real impact on the tournament for both of these two sides. the next game. And either of these two sides will play is against either Paraguay or against France. The next round will all be played between the 9th and the 12th of July before the semi-finals on the 14th and 15th, and the final on the 19th, the day after the third place playoff on the Saturday. I always think the final and the third place playoff should be played on the same day. Give the fans a full day of it. The third place playoff, nobody's really too interested in. It doesn't have much implication even to the two sides that are in it. They don't want to get injured at all at that stage of the competition when you're trying to find a bronze medal, if you will. Morocco were in that game 4 years ago in Qatar, losing out to Croatia. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that they're the first African team to make a semi-final. Ghana were the ones who seemed to get the closest, alongside South Korea, who were the first in 2002 to make the quarterfinals on their own patch. And getting down the left-hand side over the top is Ahmed, and plays it off. Buhari and wins a corner kick to Canada, who are just trying to find a way back into this and show some spirit and show a few signs of life and a bit of resilience. They don't quite have the speed in the areas that matter at times in this game, Canada, particularly against Hakimi down the left-hand side, but Ahmed on that occasion did ever so well. Across comes Eustachiou with the corner kick. 58 minutes on the clock here in Houston in the air-conditioned stadium. Sends it towards the far side of the penalty area, sent back across in towards the 6-yard box, but from Difugodoles, but only in towards Mazraoui. That's in front of him, and it's half cleared out for a throw on the far side of the pitch again to Canada, who are just trying to turn up the noise to 11 inside the ground. Across comes Johnson with that long throw to take it. Level with the 6-yard box on the far side of the pitch. There's 6, 7, 8 now inside the penalty area for Canada. They really have to just start to try and put some pressure on Bono in the goal. Comes back out to Eustachiou, who just knocks it back towards Johnson, who took the throw over on the far side. Bounces once in front of him. His return pass to Eustachiou's a poor one, and he just tried to float it over the top to the runner that came in, which was Segur, but couldn't quite find the pass. But Canada will have another throw in a little bit further back on this occasion. Johnson takes, Eustachiou takes it quickly and stops any real attack by doing that, as they have to go all the way back towards their goalkeeper. 60 minutes on the clock here as a man goes down inside the penalty area. The Canadians are screaming for a tackle. The linesman's flag's got up over on the far side, but it certainly will be checked. Mazraoui once again goes down, holding a part of his body. I think he's held every single part of his body on the deck during this game, Mazraoui. He certainly wasn't the man that was tackled inside the box. He was the man committing the foul, if anything, over on the far side. Buchanan is very, very close inside the area. He then was taken out by Hal. A push in the back, everywhere else across the pitch. That's been given as a free kick throughout this game. The question is now, surely, is the man offside? Was Buchanan offside? And I think the decision has been Mazraoui, who came across, lost the header out to Johnson, went down holding his left arm. And the decision has been that it will be an offside. Surely that was checked. There was nothing in the ground to say that it went to VAR. But if he was onside there, Buchanan, that is a penalty every day of the week. Canada lose the ball inside the middle rather cheaply. Morocco in turn give it straight back towards the Canadian defenders, and Laïa goes back towards the keepers with a little bit of pressure from the on-rushing Rahimi. The game starting to intensify a little bit more. You can make sure to watch the game through your local network providers who'll provide you the pictures while I provide you with the sound of the game. A wonderful touch to the right-hand side from Bombito just to open up the space, but doesn't quite have the pace and has to bring it back towards Difugodoles, just on the edge of the D of his own penalty area. Ships it to the left-hand side in towards Segur. drives into the centre circle, just holds on to it as he can't find too many options going forward. De Figueroles lays it across towards Bombito. Plays it in towards the middle, but it's a bit of a fierce pass looking for Oluwase. And it wasn't the greatest of passes. It goes right hand side in towards Hakimi, trying to stride towards the halfway line under plenty of pressure again from Lahir, who gives the free kick Morocco's way. Lahir just held on to him, got a hand around him. It is a free kick more than anything. I don't think you have too many complaints with that, although he is certainly going to try, and that will be the last action from Bouhaddi as Morocco will blink first in this second half. Amrabat and Telbi and Bouhaddi and El Kounes will make their way, and Telbi, the wide man, will move across towards the left-hand side, and Amrabat, where Bouhaddi was taking his spot. And Oluwase makes his way off as well for Canada. There's Larin, who scored 2 goals in the opening 2 games of the competition, makes his way on. So changes all round and an instant reply from Jesse Marsh. But here comes Brahimi down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Tries to then find the pass towards Brahim Diaz, but it's way too far behind him, and he has to scramble back and pick it up. And that was a good opportunity, really. If the pass could have been found, he would have been one-on-one with Bombito. Morocco with the ball, striding down the left-hand side, taking on the overlap. Johnson trying to get across as it is once in front of De Figueroles, who does just about enough to get a shin onto it to half clear the ball. Brahim then just hacked away into the Moroccan half and picked up by Amrabat. Year-old Real Betis man, known as the Gladiator, physically close the space and make the game a little bit ugly, but one of the players that can make a little bit exciting is Brahim Diaz. Down the right-hand side, boxes deflected out towards the edge of the area and only half clear. Picked up nicely though by Ahmed, who's trying to turn his man, and the referee gives the free kick Morocco's way. Talbi, the other man, 21-year-old, his 9th appearance, the Belgian-born winger. He scored in the shootout against the Dutch. He's also played for Club Brugge in the Champions League as well. The Real man, just 2 goals for him. But the national team made his way off for Kyle Larin, the Southampton 21-year-old, 9 goals to his name in the Championship this season. Looking for his 3rd in the competition. He was still Canada's most natural first-time finisher. 32 goals now. For Kyle Larin. As Morocco tried to make their way forward, a bit of a coming together as well. Appeals on a bit of a coming together. Much more of a 50-50 than anything else, and that's how Michael Oliver saw it as well. 20 back quarter-finals in this competition. On the left-hand side with Ahmed. Gone on this near side. With a little bit of skill, drives it towards the left, takes on Bride, and the linesman's flag once again goes up over on the far side, and it's what Canada have done a number of times in this second half. They've just been a final third of the pitch. He didn't need to be offside there, Lahir. His man. But so far, the difference has been that Azadine Una. Wadi, the Lille man, made his way off moments ago, as did for Stuttgart as well. Didn't have too much. Made their way off. There's still 4 on the pitch for Morocco. And 3 as well towards the keeper, and Bono had to come out for it. He got there first. The referee gives a yellow card. Was the man who's just come on to the pitch. Bono got there first and got his foot through it. Hakimi back towards his goalkeeper. He put him under real trouble and real pressure. Kyle Larin. And he just came in a little late. I don't think he's really made a touch on the keeper there. If anything, there was a slight arm on the waist as he went through. And we have that who's been really hasty in this game. Has just been a little bit hastier there. As well. Thankfully, it isn't something that's going to come into the European competitions in 2 years' time. It is the 2022 legacy, the depth of the European-based squad, making them just an underdog story like so many African teams of the past. Between the two sides as well. Canada like the intensity, they like to run, they like to be direct. Got control, bit of half space rotation, sudden acceleration through Hakimi, Brahim, Unai. And in this game, it is Morocco. Of this game. Both sides have plenty of players that are born outside. 19 of their 26-man squad for the competition. Canada, it's 7. And including the Moroccan who was born not here in Houston, but born in Canada. Playing against the nation, the Al Hilal man. Still just taking 2 completely different types of countries as well. Football identity has shifted fast from log absences, underdog to a group led by Bayern, Juventus, Porto and major MLS European figures. It's at the northwestern edge of Africa with Atlantic and Mediterranean coastlines and a football European diaspora pipelines as well. And in this city, space age history through the Nasser that is nearby here. We are in for a treat. And I did, when I was in Florida, I actually saw better than the wedding day, which was still a good day. We will add as we're back underway in the final. At Everline of Houston, we have a problem. Right now it's Jesse Marsh that has the problem. I'm running out, trying to find a way back in. They scored late on. In the 92nd minute in the round of 32 10 days ago. Morocco went on, were being favoured to potentially go on and win it, particularly after that group stage. And Morocco can do it against big European teams. We've seen it before. We've seen it against Canada here. 18 minutes to play. Pass down the right-hand side inside their own half for Morocco, and they'll just win a throw-in. But the referee, Michael Oliver, has pointed it to go the other way instead. The Figueroa just comes across and takes out his man. Position that's been tried to be sped up by referees. Michael Oliver's doing his best to try and slow the speed of. Really sloppy. The ball, in fact, Michael Oliver says never even came into play before this tournament. They never won a game. In the worlds. Trying to lend a hand. Bit of Dr. Zeus for you there almost. Trying to lend a hand to the There's Morocco slow the game down themselves over on the far side of the pitch. Mazraoui. But he just runs into a bit of traffic, and Canada go back towards their goalkeeper in Crepau, who sent forward looking for a runner, but it's good defensive play from Hal to just knock it back to He made a fine save in the first half from the chance from Oliver. Plenty of pressure on these Canadians. They had to run for 120 minutes against the Netherlands, but it drew another 75 minutes. The Moroccan coach did explain that his side certainly weren't going to let up regardless last game, and they are running this Canadian team into the ground, but Canada have a throw-in level with the edge of the Morocco. 7-year-old. He gives Canada a bit of bite. Launch one in to the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's met by Mazraoui, has many of them. Far side, early crossings dealt with by the keeper on the first instance, so clear back out towards Ahmed, who just tries to loft it. Stakio is taken out on the edge of the area. The referee has pointed down, and I think he's pointed for a free penalty. I think the referee may have got it right. There was certainly a handball on the edge of the box, and then he's taken. It was a lazy challenge from Amrabat, the man who came on. That is the ultimate question here for Canada and for Morocco. In life, an organiser of this side in his 61st appearance, got his 5th goal for the national team in the last game. There's questions being asked. Moroccans trying to already get in. As Canada have 5 players surrounding the box. Up for this a little bit more. I don't think I've seen this many players in a wall for a side in this competition so far. It looks to be 7-man wall for Morocco. The 2 remaining are Jonathan David and Ahmed. It's central. It couldn't be any more central. To the left-hand side, there's 3 in the wall for Canada to the right, trying to put off the keeper. They reduce it down to 5 as Jonathan David steps up, puts it over the wall and over the top of the bar as well, and it never ever looked. Just tried to lift it over more than anything else and put it into the space on the right-hand side of the keeper. More changes as well. Ahmed and Laïr on the left-hand side, both of them make their way off and promise David. The Union Sandro Laman, 19 goals domestically this season. He's 6 as well, and he offers a bit of physical threat down the right-hand side, and he goes for goal and forced a fine save from Bono. Just Buchanan over on the far side. He was found by David. Into a save. Zali Ahmed was one that came off. Now playing in a major tournament. The Norwich City sent towards the far side of the box again. Not back from promise David, but over the top of the bar again, and the referee. Anyway, on Mazraoui, who once again is occupying the deck. Most farm animals do on a day-to-day basis. But down that left-hand side, Scheffelberg was the other man that came on for Canada. He came on in a draw. And they came up against Bosnia. Larin scored with 12 minutes to go. We're already past that point of this game. They have another free kick 10 yards from the far touchline. Morocco trying to keep them away from the edge of the box. Who's trying to turn his man. Tries to feed it back towards the free kick taker. Eustachiou, but it's not the best of mine. As does Segura as well to pick up the ball. Now back on it just inside the Moroccan half. 9 minutes to go of in Morocco's favour. It's slow for Morocco. It's played to the right hand side into Diaz. He can finish his game. Have doubled their advantage, and it's the man of the game. Mate, another knockout night, leaning their way when the margins were at their thinnest. To roar and have liftoff here in Houston. Morocco eyeing up France by a counter-attack at the other, and that's what Morocco can add on this stage. Slow, it was methodical from Ainaoui trying to break forward. He fed it in towards Bright area, unselfishly pulled it back in towards the middle. Ainaoui domestically this season has added his 11th in his 54th appearance. It was a lovely finish. Again a sweeping strike, this time into the side. Ainaoui has looked to all but win it now for Morocco in the round of 6 quarter-finals. Seven minutes plus likely 6 added on at the end of this game. They would have free kick 10 yards in the near touchline, but Ainaoui is looking like the man. He's not had too many moments like this for the national side as Canada try down the left-hand side. It goes way towards Schaffelberg, but he tries to go for goal from the tight angle under pressure, and it's comfortable for the goalkeeper. It was straight at him. Looking like they're going to do it inside 90 minutes instead. Fulberg halfway inside his own half. Is there another roll with the dice here for Canada? It doesn't feel like it, but Canada has host could be the first host out as a ball's just floated in towards the box, and it's striding down the right hand side, floats it towards the far side. The header comes in, it's off the bar and off the line. Michael, it hasn't been given as a goal. It rattled off the underside of the bar as Canada once again up the other end. The ball in towards the box. It's dealt with and out for a corner kick to Canada. But it was a lovely ball for Ainaoui, who was unselfish with the cross. It was stay on side. And his header came off and bounced a yard from down the left-hand side from Schaffelberg once again. His cross is a poor one and as it's crossed again in by Schaffelberg. Once again, it's not the best. A play, but it's fallen over on the far side towards Promise David. Back on the ball once late on here, Canada. Just trying to get the ball in towards the box, but there's no one really there, and a challenge comes in. just turned his man on the ball and went down to the ground, and now Morocco will bring on. Slow this game down. El Mourabet and Mawin Sadain. Club at the moment will make his way on. Is Canada also making his way off. Diop also made his way off. For both sides there as it's sent into towards the box quickly. I'll run you through those changes again. On for the goal scorer. Unahi, who's on a booking and won't want to get another. They made two changes as well. Segur. Who came off for Nelson and Osorio. Something late. Buchanan, who really caused plenty of problems inside that first half. Makes his way off. Osorio comes on. The Toronto FC man, his 93rd appearance for the national team, age 34. This will be club eyeing up his 100th appearance. He's got the know-how, and I'm sure this game could have been for Canada, but it just wasn't to be. Jaden Nelson, the to come on for his 16th appearance for the 23-year-old. He hasn't scored domestically this. He's an explosive winger. He's the symbol of resilience. And it's a bit of resilience with 60 seconds plus stoppage time to go. Against France. One round earlier than 4 years ago. Going to get everybody forward. It has to go. We saw Belgium score 2 late goals against Senegal. Towards the box, knocked back down, shot comes in, deflected back out and then hacked away by the Moroccan defence. Cut the ball. Stacky out, now the last man on the pitch for this side down. Here's El Mourabet, sent towards the edge in the area of Promise Davis. Who can't get hold of the ball. Plenty happen in football. Ball inside 8 minutes. Canada need a miracle here in Houston. In towards the box. Chested down nicely, but calls on a handball. And Larin just right forearm. And that slows the game down in Morocco's favour. Or in fact, it was a arm of Kyle Larin. Has been wasted of 7 at the end of this contest. It took plenty of time to get going, but this second half really had the feel of a tournament knockout game. As Rahimi tries to keep on the near corner, then goes in with a tackle on Osorio, who wins the free kick. As Michael Oliver races over, wags his finger at Rahimi, who did really well. Keep it in as they're trying to see the ball out. The Moroccans on the side, they're waiting. They're starting to smile a little bit more as time goes on. They're going to be in another quarter-final at this competition 4 years after doing it for the first time. The second time, sorry. As the tackle goes on the edge of the area against Jonathan David, but the referee waves it away on that occasion. They're trying to play for it now, Canada. They win the ball back, though, on this near side, but a lazy pass towards Eustaquio gives it away, but just cleared out of touch. 6 minutes to go. Jesse Marsh is trying to get the Canadians back on. He's given Canada some history in this competition. They won their first ever game. They won their first ever knockout game. They got to the first ever knockout round. They can certainly be proud of their tournament, this Canadian side. But it looks like it's going to end here. They win a corner kick late on the near left-hand side. Jaden Nelson, the man to win it. Eustaquio comes across to take it. Goes short instead, looking for Staffelberg. On his left, crossing it towards the box. The keeper comes in towards the area as well. I didn't see Kripal racing in towards the box. He came from deep, trying to challenge the goalkeeper and gives a free kick away with 5 minutes to go. And that's what we love to see in a game like this. The keeper charging in, putting his body on the line at the far post. And he took out the keeper and a defender for good measure as well. And now has to race back. To his own penalty area. And he looks absolutely knackered away to the right-hand side. Canada, across the entire game, have had more momentum. They've had the better chance inside the first half to open up the scoring. But Morocco have taken their two big chances in this game. They've had 5 more shots, Canada, but they've only forced the keeper into one save, and that was from Schaffelberg from the tight angle. As Kripal comes out and under pressure, has to just put it out of play over on the far side, and with 4 minutes to go, that's the last thing that Canadians in the stands wanted to see. The Moroccans now, they're starting to celebrate in the stands, and why not? 4 minutes is still a long time in a football game. The clock winding down on the fingers of Michael Oliver's hands. And I'm pretty sure it should have gone the other way, that throw in. They were being lazy with it, and it has gone Canada's way. Morocco quite happy just to allow that extra time to go down rather than have the ball in play, and can't see why you would disagree with it. Schaffelberg just moving towards the left corner of the penalty area. 2 for company. Tries to cross the ball in towards the box. Takes a deflection off Hakimi on the way through, and another corner kick with just over 3 minutes to play now. The 2 goals from Unahi. Could that be the difference? Comes back in again for Schaffelberg. The keeper comes in, this time over the top of his head from Kripal. Is he going to stay up for the long throw over on the far side? He's racing back to the halfway line just in case. He may as well stay up. You either pull one back or you go 3-0 down at this point of the contest. There's no point in doing anything in half measures. The throw goes in, back towards the middle of the park with Schaffelberg. Space opens up, can't quite sit down for him. Takes on his right, wins a free kick. 6 yards off the edge of the penalty area. Rahimi just taking out Schaffelberg, who tried to shuffle it towards his right-hand side. He tried to quickly race towards the left of the penalty area, but they're going to have to get on it quickly. Morocco are going to try and slow this down as much as they can by not engaging with Michael Oliver. He's trying to get them back behind the line quickly. The 4 in the wall, not really obliging, whilst also trying to help out Bono in the goal. Stop any opportunity. Eustaquio stands over his way as Jaden Nelson. Nelson's looking towards the right. Lays it off towards Eustaquio. Goes for goal. Takes deflection towards Schaffelberg on the rest. Flicks all the way through. That corridor uncertainty. Still inside the box and over the top and out for a goal kick. And a cry from Bono of pure delight as he saw that go out of play for a goal kick. It's going to be Morocco's night. It's going to be Houane's night in Morocco. They'll be celebrating in the north of Africa. It's just gone 10 o'clock in Casablanca. Here in Houston, it's just hit 3 p.m. 2 p.m. in fact. It's twice I've got the time wrong in this game. But the time I won't get wrong is that there's only 60 seconds to go. And Morocco have a free kick as Schaffelberg just had a coming together with Rahimi and just stopped him running. And that will be all she wrote for this tournament for Canada. They gave it their all. They put on a show. They had a wonderful first game against Bosnia and Herzegovina where they picked up their first ever tournament point. They had to come from behind then. They then put on the equal largest win by the amount of goals against Qatar, against 9-man Qatar 6-0. They did lose to Switzerland in their final game before coming up trumps in the 92nd minute against South Africa. But here's Brahim Diaz, 3-on-1 towards the left-hand side. They could wrap it up here, and Morocco have. It's 3-0, and it's Rahimi who tucks it away. And Morocco go into the quarter-finals, and they've done it with pure delight and in absolute no empathy for Canada. They waited, they allowed Canada to come on to them, and Morocco are into the quarter-finals once again. 2022 no longer stands alone as the summit of their footballing ambition. They don't want to be handed honours anymore like they were in the African Cup of Nations. They've done this on their own merit, and they've walked into America, and they've taken out one of the host nations in Canada. Canada are out. That will probably be the last kick of the game. But they leave with proof that the country's place on afternoons like this is no longer in question. But they had the opportunity in the first half to take the lead. They didn't take it. Oluwaseyi will be the man that will be questioned the most. But the one man that won't be this afternoon is Unahi and Rahimi. Rahimi had to come on with plenty of pressure on his shoulders after Sabiri went down with a hamstring injury. They were wondering where those goals were then going to come from. And he steps up coolly in the final kicks of the game to give his side a comfortable 3-0 victory. And on an afternoon where Canada kept on going, they looked good and great in spells, in fact. They had the momentum, and Brahim Diaz has 2 assists, and that will be the final whistle. That chance from Oluwaseyi inside the first half where he should have passed it when he was through on goals of Jonathan David will be something that the Canadians will rue as they come down to defeat. But it all started in the second half really for Morocco. It livened up at the end of the first half. It was Unahi who finished after a well-worked set piece from Hakimi, went across the box. Didn't look like it was going to reach its man, but the one thing that wasn't in question was the tidy finish from Unahi into the bottom left-hand corner of Kripal's goal. Set piece, again, Unahi added another. This time's Canadian set piece given away. The counter-attack was on. It looked rather slow and methodical from the left-hand side, fed it in towards Diaz, unselfishly laid it then across towards Unahi. This time put it into the roof of the net to double the advantage for Morocco. And as Canada tried to find something in the dying embers of the game, they found themselves caught out at the back once more in the 98th minute. Diaz laid it across towards Rahimi, who stepped up and tucked it into the bottom left-hand corner of Maxime Kripal's goal. Canada, one of the hosts, are out. Morocco go through to the quarter-finals once again. It's finished Canada 0, Morocco 3. Goodbye.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.